I wonder. I wonder what would happen. Yeah, like that. Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to work here at the Stink Bug Works. The other day I teased you about this, so I'll give you a little bit more about this. But first, somebody asked me about the Stink Bug Works. Why do you call it the Stink Bug Works? And I said, well, Kelly Johnson ran the Skunk Works. Now, the Skunk Works designed airplanes from the P-38 to the, I think they did the F-104. They did the U-2, which was kind of a spin-off of the 104 with long wings instead of short wings. The SR-71, just a whole number of black projects came out of the Skunk Works. And the Skunk Works was well funded, secretly funded, but well funded. And here at Dr. Jet Laboratories, we can't afford a skunk. Now, we found a substitute that's black and smells bad, but we can't afford a skunk. So we had to settle for a stink bug. So we shall forever be the Stink Bug Works. Anyway, getting to this, this needs a coat of clear on it. It'll get this decal on it, and that's the last of the decals. It's supposed to have this speedy printing up here, but I'm not going to put that one on. This guy lost his head. So does this guy. I've been wondering about how to glue these windscreens on, and it finally dawned on me. See, if I put glue along this edge, you're going to see it through here. So I'm just going to use that pinstriping tape that I used on the American Spirit, and I'll just put pinstriping tape along the outside here. And then for adhesive, now in the airplanes, we used RC56, and it was kind of like white glue, but it dried clear and somewhat rubbery. But it stuck to this clear, what is this, acetate or whatever it is. And it did a great job. Here on a boat, I don't want to use that because the water will soften it. So everybody knows that white Playtex Marine, was it Playtex? Permatex. Marine adhesive that Big B likes to use to glue on his hardware. They also make that in black. It's really tenacious stuff, and it takes a good long while to dry. So I'll have this taped edge, and then I'll just take a toothpick and very carefully dab glue on just the inside edge of here, and then I'll tape it in place and give it a couple of days to cure out. And it'll just have a nice looking bead along the outside edge. Another thing I did was I like these pull cables, but the ends of them, let's use the other one so you can see it up against the background. The ends of them here, when they go into a clevis like this, the set screws will tend to crush it, and then it won't come back out through the tube. So this is 16th inch outside diameter. The hole in this particular clevis is 2 millimeters. Now 16th, I think, is 1.59 millimeters or 1.6. So I bored out a piece of brass, or not brass tubing, but stainless steel tubing. I bored the inside to 1.7 millimeters, slightly more than a 16th. And it's 2 millimeter outside stainless. So I'll put a little sleeve in there, and then these clevises, these clevi have 4 grub screws that can kind of squish that stainless steel tube into which this is inserted, and it can squish that tube against it without putting dimples and such in here. And so when I have to get it apart, it'll be easy to get apart. The other way is just leave these be sacrificial and cut them and make a new one each time. You know, it's not too hard. But I like the idea of that. We'll see how that works out. Other technical data. It's a, what is this? It's a Rocket 4074 2000 kV. I'm going to run it on 4S. Because this hull is vacuum formed plastic, very light vacuum formed plastic, I don't really want to go too fast with it. Plus my pond is somewhat small. So my plan is to keep the props small, let the motor not work at all. So I'm going to stay in the 38 to 42 millimeter range with props, you know, and keep it modest, you know, nothing crazy, none of these 45 millimeter 1.9 pitch props. You know, I could turn them, but I'd break something. And the goal of this boat is not to break anything. The goal of this boat is just to go around in some lazy circles and look good. It's kind of like a trophy wife. oh. So that's pretty much for it. There's not a whole lot more to do on it, just some cosmetic things, and it will be ready to go. The weather appears to be finally getting to June gloom. The May gray is gone. It's going to be June gloom soon. And June gloom doesn't have rain. It's just gloomy here at the coast. So I don't mind. But that means, and my schedule is such that I can get out to the lake. And so I'm going to go out there sometime this coming week, perhaps Wednesday, 2 days from today. I'm going to take 3 boats. Why 3? Because each boat requires maintenance when you return, and if you get too many, it takes too long to do the maintenance, and yada, yada. So I like to limit it to 3. So the 3 I'm going to take are the bug boat, the Ladybug. Remember, I've just moved the speed control around on that, and you guys haven't seen that one run yet, have you? No, I don't think so. And the second boat I'm going to take is the M450 Cobra. That's the mini Dom with the plastic hull, styrene plastic hull. And the third boat, let's do viewer's choice. I have a whole bunch I could run. The Bat boat needs a little dialing in with the trim tabs. Last time I ran it, it had a bit of a list going down the road. I could run the Mozilla 400. I was thinking about the 12-inch Challenge rigger, my little micro rigger. Now, it had steering issues. The steering was sloppy. I had a lot of slop between the clevis and the horn. And so I did the old F5B trick. What you say is the old F5B trick? Well, in the F5B gliders, realize that, this doesn't swing through a big arc, maybe 45 degrees. It doesn't go all the way around a circle. So it's a small arc. What we would do is now we used a metal push rod, and we just put a drop of CA right there on the joint. We'd glue the push rod to the rudder arm. And then the first time we hit the servo, it would break that glue joint, and that clevis would be snug on that horn. There would be no slop whatsoever. And worked great. I mean, hell, the glider, those were 200-mile-an-hour gliders, and we were gluing the clevi on to tighten things up. It worked great. So I could run the little micro rigger. I could run either one of the twin cats, the micro drifter or the little Chinese twin cat. I could run the American Spirit. I could run, that other eco boat, the H&M Firefly. That one's ready for a maiden. It's been just sitting waiting for an appropriate day. My entire fleet's ready to go. So what do you want to see? Let me know. Until then, jet out.